All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Liferay Live event, the DXP Cloud Migration webinar. We have two speakers, Bruno Pinero and Tiago Moreira, and we're really excited for you guys to be here today. DXP Cloud is the best way to manage Liferay DXP on a secure and robust platform. And with DXP Cloud, you can focus on what matters, deliver with confidence, and evolve faster. This webinar presents everything needed to get started with your migration and covers the steps required to migrate a DXP project to DXP Cloud, how DXP Cloud's capabilities can boost your time to market, and how the solution will drive your IT team's focus towards strategic goals instead of daily operations. So a little bit about our presenters today. Bruno started at Liferay in 2010 as a software engineer, working with support, engineering, and global services. After 2 years, he moved to the training department as a trainer, and 7 years later, he closed his cycle as a department global training manager. Tiago has been with Liferay for more than 11 years, and he was responsible for kicking off the training and global services operations in Latin America. Opening up the Sao Paulo office, he acted as a senior Liferay consultant for over 8 years, and he is currently a board member of the company's Latin America operations and displays a vast experience in collaborating with open source and DevOps projects. Just to let everyone know, all attendees are in listen-only mode, and we are recording. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them in the chat box on the right-hand side. And at the end of the session, we'll have a short Q&A. As a reminder, all the slides will be made accessible through liferay.com in a couple of weeks. And now I'll hand it over to our presenters.
Thanks, Bobby. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thanks for your time. And as Rob introduced it, today, Tiago and I will be together on this presentation. So after all the history that Bob mentioned to you, I became the business development manager for the region of Americas to the Liferay Cloud division. And my goal is to try to help you guys succeed on your business. Tiago, I'll let you introduce yourself as well.
Yeah, thanks Bruno, thanks Bob for the introduction. So all my history in Liferay, I use all this history and experience to help to shape the product, the Liferay DXP Cloud product. So yeah, I'm working right now with our team as a solution architect. So my goal is understand the requirements from customers and translate these requirements in features or solutions on top of our cloud platform. Yeah.
That's great. Thanks, Tiago. Yeah, so let me start. I will start and then Tiago will continue with the presentation. So I always like to start our presentation mentioning like a testimonial or something that someone said about the market, about Liferay, about cloud. So today I'll use Gartner and I'll use Sid Nag, that's the VP of cloud. And last year, end of last year, almost 1 year ago, he mentioned that the cloud adoption was a mainstream. So the next generation solution, every company will be reaching and looking for the cloud, and first to get all the strengths of the cloud and be able to deliver their business using all the capabilities, take advantage of all the features that the cloud offers to us. And I like to use a testimonial, but I also love to use an example. This one is a fake company based in real use case. So imagine that we have a big wine retailer, and this wine retailer is called Migrate. You guys probably heard about this company before if you have attended a Liferay webinar, a Liferay event. So we sometimes use this logo, this name, but as I mentioned, all the cases are real and we get from customer experience that we had. So what is Wineray? Wineray is a company that they work with a huge selection of wines. They have wines from all the globe, from California, from Chile, from Africa, from Europe. And they have wines from the most expensive to the cheaper ones. And to manage, to sell, to help them run the business, they have more than 3,000 employees around the world. So as we can see in this map, they are split around the globe. Their headquarters is in California, but they have people in all the continents. And today, Liferay is running 2 projects on top of Liferay DXP. So they have a public site, a public-facing site, where they host a B2C and a B2B commerce, where they sell wines for restaurants, for grocery stores, for small wine stores. Also, they sell wines to us, to individuals as well as us that wanna have access to all their bottles, all their wines. And that public website also contains a lot of information regarding the wines that they sell. So details about which grape they use, when the wine was bottled, all the process, where the grapes were grown. So all of this is related there, so people can learn a bit more about the wines, about the grapes, about the process, all of this. And the other project that they have, it's an internal project. That's an intranet where they host all the process, all the procedures that they use inside of the company, where they also host meetings. So everything that's related to the company organization is registered, is done by the intranet. Okay, so today they have this process running there, 2 projects, everything's going okay. Actually, everything was going good until the end of last year. Beginning of January, they faced a new issue, that's COVID-19. So since the beginning of the year, Liferay is facing an issue that all their employees went home, so now they need to work from home, and they are facing a different challenge since the beginning of the year. Another thing that happened that's kind of positive from one side but negative from the other side is the amount of people that are reaching their websites to buy wines. So what happened? Everybody's at home, nobody can leave home, and everybody's buying more wines from Liferay's website. So today they have these revenue stream growing, but they have an issue that all their IT folks are also at home. They are not 100% at home, but they are just shifting their day to day. Who is one day is a different person that's going to the office, so they don't have that huge team to help them to keep the project up and running in the way that they did before. So how can Liferay help them in that process? How can we help them go back on track? And even if their customers buy more, and even if their team is at home, how can we make the process run in the same way that they did before? And that's what I want to present to you is Liferay DXP Cloud. If you guys haven't heard about Liferay DXP Cloud, DXP Cloud is a platform as a service, so it's an enterprise solution that our goal is to simplify the deployment, the management, and the evolution of Liferay DXP. So Liferay today is already working with Liferay DXP, as I mentioned before. They have everything in place, everything's okay, but due to COVID, they need to change the way that they maintain, that they do deployment, how they manage their websites. Also, because of the huge demand of sales, they are having like peaks in their website, so their IT team is not in the office anymore to handle those peaks. So the goal of Liferay DXP Cloud is kind of help them in this process. So by doing that, we'll be able to make them go back on track and be able to evolve their project to keep their Migrate project running, the public website and also the internet. Which features does the DXP Cloud comes with? So we have some topics that I can share here. So for example, security. As I mentioned before, security is not an issue for Migrate today, but now that they are using DXP Cloud, they don't need to use their IT team to take care of, for example, managing the SSL certificates. So the HTTP, all the requests done in DXP Cloud is done by HTTPS, and all the SSL certificates are managed by the DXP Cloud team. So now their teams at home managing all the things and not the SSL certificates. High availability. I mentioned that they're having peaks. They have peaks in the beginning of the pandemic because of the people buying more wines. So in the past, they need to have someone there, or not only one guy, but a team, to make sure that they have the proper service running and that the server that they have running will be able to handle all the traffic that they need. Now with the DXP Cloud, through the console, they will be able to enable, disable an auto-scaling feature that will be tracking their access, and if they have a peak, it will automatically start up a new Liferay instance and make sure that we keep the same quality of performance to their end users. Self-healing, they don't have like they don't have any issues before using the DXP Cloud. But let's say they had in the past, so they had on the on-prem world a disaster like a flood, a earthquake, something like that, and they need to move their data center to another place. On the DXP Cloud side, they will have the ability to do this at home, safe, just using the console, just changing where they want to deploy stuff. Okay. Monitoring. As I mentioned, the team was there before, so the team was 24/7 there, monitoring the servers, checking if everything is okay. Now they can do this through the DXP Cloud console. So they have advanced monitoring with Dynatrace. They can check every time that they need the health of their system, how it's operating, and then can fix from the console. Performance. I mentioned about HTTP or HPS. We have SSD storage and all the years of experience. Like Thiago is working at Life for 13 years, so all the years of experience, not only from Thiago but from all the service team that we have, we're applying the DXP Cloud. So we are running with the best practice, and I cannot say that we have the best performance, but we try to apply those best practice to reach the best performance that we can. Management, backup and restore routines, custom domains, log management, VPN connections, alerts. So all of these will be available to the Migrate team on the DXP Cloud console. So they'll have their Liferay running, but they'll be monitoring and doing all those tasks from the console. So they don't need to be there watching the server, the hardware, close the hardware. From the development side, the Migrate also has a development team that they are there to build new stuff. They are there to start creating other stuff to make the internet better, to give a better experience to the user, to make the commerce better. So they are always customizing stuff on Liferay and making sure that all the customization are running good. So now with DXP Cloud, they'll have a CI/CD pipeline in place that they can take advantage and they won't need to be maintaining that. So they will need to be focusing on the development, on the new stuff. They'll need to be focused on bringing that experience to the people, not on the process itself. And last but not least, the collaboration. So Migrate today, I'm going to show you in a few slides later, the architecture that Migrate has. And for each environment they have, they probably need to set some rules, some permissions, some requirements to access that environment. So on the DXP Cloud console, they will need they will be able to set these. So let's say a development guy, they will have like admin rights in the development environment only. In the production environment, I'll have someone available to do that, and that has all the rights and all the permissions to do that. So we can set the permissions based on people's roles and based on the activity that they are running now, for example. Okay, so those are like the highlight features of the DXP Cloud. And just to summarize, before, when Migrate was running in their servers, so they had all Liferay installed in their servers, they need to have an answer to all those questions that I had there. So which server they are going to use, what kind of security protocols or security process that they are going to apply, how are they going to monitor and do performance tunings on their hardware, on the Liferay. Are they going to use firewalls, antivirals, how they're going to manage the database, who is going to be responsible to do the backup and restore process. So all of those question marks needed to be answered before by Migrate. Today, as they are using the DXP Cloud, they don't need to take care more about those details. So all those pieces will be maintained and managed by the DXP Cloud team. Some of those, for sure, they'll still need to do some work, as it's a PaaS solution. There is a shared responsibility, but we are going to take a lot of the basic tasks from the Migrate team. And by doing that, they will be able to control, to manage everything from their house as their goal today. They will be able to keep growing the project because we have an auto-scaling feature that will handle all the features that all the traffic that they are having today. And their team will be able to start focusing more, so they will have more time to focus on the evolution of the project. So the development team will be able to develop new stuff that they were missing, that they were pending. The IT team will be able to start working on more detailed infrastructure stuff, but that's how they are going to have their Liferay DXP running from now on. So what they'll need to do, so what they did actually, we need to get their Kubernetes infrastructure. So in the past, before COVID, Migrate had a number of web servers that we had a load balance that will target a Liferay cluster. So they had a number of Liferay instances running there. And as I mentioned, when they have peaks, someone was there watching and monitoring those Liferay applications. And if they need another instance, they will go there and start up. So they have a set of Liferay instances available. They are not using all the Liferay instances in that time, but they have those available if they need to start. They also had the database, so they have a cluster database. They have the search engine running there. They have a storage. So all of those pieces were there in the Migrate data center. Everything connected, everything running. And now what we need to do, we need to get this architecture that they have, the on-prem architecture, and move this and convert this, migrate this to the DXP Cloud. So this is the diagram, the architecture diagram of the DXP Cloud. So those boxes that we saw before from the Migrate architecture will be converted, will be migrated to to this architecture. That will have a web server, a library, as Migrate had. We have the search engine, we have the database, we have the storage, we have the other two that I mentioned, the VPN client, we have the monitoring app, the monitoring tool, we have the CI/CD pipeline using Jenkins, we have all the security features that we have, antivirus, we have web application firewalls, we have the DDoS protection. So all the cool things that Migrate had in the past, they still have today, but now they won't be responsible for controlling or for taking care of all of those stuff. The DXP Cloud team will provide to them all of this together with the best practice, so they can start using their time to focus on what really matters to them. And how it works, I will pass this to Thiago so he can explain how this migration process would work.
Okay, great. Thanks, Bruno, for the introduction. I think it's very important when we are even talking about migration, have this introduction, know how DXP Cloud works, what is DXP Cloud. So, Bruno, thank you for all these explanations. So, well, right now, I would like to talk about migration to DXP Cloud. Right, so we know that Migrate is looking for having this process done. They are eager to run their product, their project in the cloud, and they ask us what are the steps, what their team or even a SI or a partner or even GS from Liferay will need to do to have their current project running on top of the cloud. Okay, so we put together a list of steps that needs to be accomplished to run or to have a project that is running or on-prem or running in another cloud available or live in DXP Cloud. Okay, but before talking about that, one thing that I always like to emphasize is that migration and upgrade, we have some confusion regarding these two words. So migration we use for, or migration is for migrate from one on-prem or one cloud environment to DXP Cloud. Okay, and upgrade is when you are updating or upgrading your project from one version to another, from 7.0 to 7.1 or from 7.1 to 7.3. That's the current Liferay version, right? So migration is going from on-prem to the cloud. Upgrade is from one version to another. I like to make this very clear because we have some confusions. Okay. So and what are the steps that we have here to do this migration to, again, from on-prem to the cloud, or even from cloud to cloud, from cloud to DXP Cloud? So it consists basically of 6 steps. The first one is prepare the migration. So you need to have an overview, or even better if you have a deep understanding of the project, how it works, to be able to migrate everything that is used by the current project to the cloud. Okay, and this encompasses, for instance, integrations, versions of the current software, and so on. We're gonna go deep later on the road. Okay, prepare migration. The second step is migrate data. So you need to get your current data that is on your on-prem data center, and you need to migrate or even convert them to DXP Cloud. Again, we're gonna talk later about that. The third step is migrate code. So probably you have a lot of customizations on your project, right? You have a look and feel. The Migrate, right? So Migrate has a look and feel, a team, customizations, integrations that needs to be converted or migrated to the format that DXP Cloud expects the code to be. Okay? After that, we have integrate application, where you re-establish or reintegrate your Liferay project with the external source of data. So probably you have, I don't know, a ERP system, a CRM, a billing, any kind of third-party application that is used by Liferay to pull data and present to the end user on the website. For instance, Winery, they have a ERP with all the information regarding of stocks, right? Wine stocks that are used to sell the wines on their public website. Test application. This is also a very important step because you want to have the same behavior on the cloud as you were having on your on-prem project, correct? So you need to check performance. You need to check if the features that you have on-prem, they are exactly the same on the cloud. So you don't want to change things during the migration, right? For the end user, for the business user, this change won't change anything on the behavior of your application, correct? So only on the behind the scenes, on the infrastructure part, there is a lot of changes, but from the user, the end user of the website, there is no change at all. And the last step is deploy your application. Okay, so get ready to deploy, right? Check metrics, check monitoring, check if you have your auto scaling turn it on. So all these steps we cover during the deploy application. So right now I would like to go more deep on this on all these steps, so you guys have a better picture what you need to do during this migration process. So let's take a look on the prepare the migration, the first step. Okay, here we have one word here that is understand. So this is correct. You need to understand, you need to review, you need to know what is the project, how the project is established right now on-prem, okay? And things that you need to check. For instance, discover the database. I'm sorry. Discover the database storage implementation. So you need to know if it's an Oracle database, a MySQL database, Postgres database, correct? And why is that? This is important because DXP Cloud only supports MySQL database. All right, I will talk a little bit more in the next step. So you need to check database. You need to analyze integrations, correct? You need to check if they are API calls, or if they are accessing, I don't know, a FTP server where we store some files that are consumed by Liferay. So all these steps you need to map. You need to map these integrations to, once on DXP Cloud, you're gonna recreate all these integrations. Okay? Identify Liferay version. This is also important. So once you are migrating from on-prem to DXP Cloud, you need to be sure that you are using the same, exactly same version that you are using on-prem. So if it is 7.1 Fixpack 2, you want to use this exactly same version, 7.1 Fixpack 2 on the cloud as well. Okay, we have some customers that they do a migration and an upgrade at once, I would say, right? This, yes, can be done, but it's not our recommendation. Our recommendation is, okay, first do the migration or first do the upgrade. You can do the upgrade locally in your on-prem data center and then migrate to the cloud, or even do a first migration to the cloud and then run the upgrade, right? And why is this important? Because if you are doing two things at the same time, you don't know if the upgrade is causing a problem or if the migration is causing a problem, correct? So this is a pro tip, I would say, to keep in mind during this process, and avoid as much as possible, right? So do the upgrade, and then later do the migration. Right, and one of the last steps here is search. So you need to check the customizations that you have in your search. If you don't have any customization, you are good to go. You don't need to worry about that. Okay, second step, transfer, migrate the data, right? Here, you will check all the data that you have, excuse me, all the data that you have, and check that this data is ready to be uploaded to the cloud. All right. So like I was sharing with you guys before, check the database. Your database is MySQL. No, it's not MySQL, it's Oracle. So if it is Oracle, you need to convert this database to MySQL version. The MySQL implementation, I would say, with the version 5.7. So we are using version 5.7 on MySQL on DXP Cloud, right? So you need to do this conversion. To do this conversion, you need to create backups. So the very first step is create backups of your current system. Then convert your database. You also need to convert the document library to file system storage, FSS, if it's not file system storage, correct? Most of our customers use this default implementation. Once you have your database on MySQL, and once you have your document library on FSS, you will be able to upload these two backups or these two assets to DXP Cloud, correct? We have documentation that covers this process. And once you do this upload, we will create a backup on DXP Cloud. So this backup will be available for you to restore on any of your environments. So once the data is uploaded, it will be available to restore on development environment, UAT environment, system integration environment, production environment. This is up to you, right? But one thing that is done, that's complete after this step, is that your data is on the cloud. Right, next step is migration your code. So you need to get all your customizations, your look and feel, your theme, your integrations, customizations that you develop, all the source code that you create for your on-prem project needs to be migrated to the workspace of DXP Cloud. It's a workspace different from the regular one that probably all you guys and even Liferay is used to use, but it's not that complex. The migration, it's also documented. So we have in our website, our documentation website, learn.liferay.com. So we have how to do this migration over there as well. Okay. One important thing is that if your project is not running with Gradle, you need to do this conversion as well. So we have Maven. We have some customers that they are using Maven, but we need to do this conversion to Gradle. I believe one thing that I just recorded right here is that on the latest version of the stack, that is version 4, we do provide support for Maven. Right? I didn't test that, but yeah, it's supported right now. So if you are running a project with Maven, probably you don't need to do this Gradle conversion. Okay. And the last step is test your customizations in a local development, right? So we also we have the cloud environments, right? Dev, UAT, production. We also provide a local environment, so you will be able to create the stack that we have on the cloud in your local machine with Liferay, with database, with Elasticsearch, with Nginx. So all these services will be running locally, and you will be able to test your customizations in this stack, in this local stack. Okay, this is also very important because it cuts a lot of lead time when you are waiting for something to happen in the cloud, deployment or build, so you can test locally, so it makes your development faster. Well, next step, integrate application. Okay, so here, remember that you did the mapping of all your integrations, and here you are revisiting this mapping and checking how you will integrate again your Liferay with external systems. Right, this is a challenge, and why it is a challenge? Because probably you were running on an on-prem data center where Liferay and your ERP or your billing systems were in the same network. So Liferay was able to access and pull data in a very simple way from an ERP system, for instance, right? But once you move to DXP Cloud, you will be running on a cloud. You will be running in another data center. All right, so you need to establish this security channel, a VPN connection between cloud data center and your on-prem data center to be able to pull data from the ERP system, correct? So that's why it's very important you map all your integrations and then create this VPN connection between the two data centers. We have a feature VPN, correct, that allow this process to be done very easily. Okay? And another thing that is also important to check is the type of the integration. If you are calling an API, if you are doing a query directly in the database, or if you are looking for a file in a shared folder. So all this is important, and define how this integration will be done or will be adapted to run on top of DXP Cloud, on top of the cloud. Okay, one more step. We are almost there. Test application, right? So this is also very, very important because you need to make sure that what you are running locally will also be running on the cloud without changes, right? So for that, you need to compare what you have right now and what you have on-premise. Okay? You need to run stress tests on top of your cloud infrastructure to check if you are able to deliver the same amount of requests per second. Okay, the same amount that you were doing on-prem. You need to check if the performance also is achievable on DXP Cloud. Right, and for performance, we have the auto-scaling feature where we can spin up new containers on your environment and then be able to handle more load or much more load. Okay, so this is also important. Another step that's something very critical is security, right? So this is critical for on-prem systems, but also for cloud systems or DXP Cloud. So you need to run security tests. You need to run penetration tests on your application. Once you do this migration, it's always good to run these security tests. Okay, check if you have cross-site script vulnerabilities or any other type of vulnerabilities that can impact your the security of your project. We also recommend that you simulate real extreme scenarios. So this is important, and auto-scaling can help you during this process. So for instance, Liferay, they were expecting, I don't know, 1,000 users simultaneously, right? So let's simulate 1,500 or maybe 2,000, all right? So let's see how the project behaves on top of DXP Cloud. This is also recommended. Our team is here to help you to run these tests, and it's very important for you that is managing a project, know how your project behaves. And the last step here is test if applicable or if possible with real use users. Okay, this is depending on the type of project, you can do such a thing. For instance, intranet, and this is the case also for Winery. They can select some users to collect feedback. So this is very important as well. And the last step of the 6 that we were sharing is deploy application. Okay, so here is where you are ready to go. You are ready to go to production. All the major things, they were already addressed, and right now you have small things to check before the deploy or before going to production. Okay, so reliability. Reliability is something that you probably did part of it during the tests, okay? But another part, for instance, the probes, DXP Cloud provides some probes to check the health of your application. So you can fine tune these probes, right? So this is one step on reliability that you can do. Monitor the performance. Again, this probably was done during the tests, correct? But right now you can write down the metrics and wait and put this in production and check if your metrics is matching what you were expecting during the tests, right? Fine-tuning the number of instances or even resources. Remember that I was sharing about the auto-scaling. So maybe this is the time that you, okay, let's turn on auto-scaling and wait for more load on our commerce. In this case, Winery. Alerts. So platform have some alerts that you can use. For instance, oh, you face a spike on the memory, a spike on the CPU, or you are having a problem with the amount of memory being used. So the platform will send you alerts telling that you need to do some manual intervention. Okay. And yeah, the last topic is auto-scaling that I already shared with you. So guys, these 6 steps that we were sharing, they are an overview of the whole process of migrate a project to DXP Cloud, right? There is other things that it depends on each of the projects, right? There are some projects that are more complex, that needs to have more steps, I would say. But yeah, this is the 6 steps is very important. You guys can use it as a path, right? As a path that you can cross to get your project up and running on DXP Cloud. Okay. One thing that I always like to mention is that this can be done by customers by themselves. Okay, it's not a big deal, I would say. It's a migration process from one technology to another technology, but we have our partners all around the globe that can also help you during this process, and we have our GS, our global services team, that are also capable and have all the experience to run this process, to run these projects, these migration projects for you. Okay, so there is several options to do this migration. Okay. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you. Appreciate your time, and I think we have some time for questions. Bruno, Bobby.
Yeah, so I just want to thank you, Tiago and Bruno, for sharing and just giving us so much information on the benefits of DXP Cloud and the migration process. So now it's time for the Q&A session. So if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to send them, and we'll have Bruno or Tiago answer them. So we have a few in here already, but we'll try to get to all of them, in the time if we can. And if we're not able to get to your question, we will reach out to you individually. All right. So the first question I have is, will Liferay help me in the migration process? And so I think Tiago touched on that a little bit, but if you could kind of just expound on that, that would be great, Tiago.
Yeah. Well, the short answer is yes, like I will share with you guys. Again, our team, our GS team, Global Services team, they are full prepared to do this migration. We have run this several times with different customers, with different projects from different technologies on-prem. Some of the customers, they were on cloud, and we did this migration for these customers to DXP Cloud. So yeah, we can you can reach out to us, to Bruno, or even to me, or to your account executive as well, to know more about how it works, the migration process. We have a package, Bruno, am I right? We have a migration analysis, correct? That we check how is the effort of this migration, and once we calculate this effort, we will propose, obviously, another package to execute the migration. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We have a migration package that we do all these analysis that you mentioned.
Perfect.
And based on the analysis, we, like the GS team, will be able to provide some estimation of efforts that will be resulting in hours of service that you need to apply to make this process. But yeah, we'll be able to help you guys.
Awesome. Yep, for sure.
Okay, so we have a few more questions coming in. The next question is DXP Cloud running on Liferay 7.3? Are customers automatically upgraded as new versions of Liferay DXP are released?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thanks for asking. Yeah, today we already support Liferay DXP 7.3. So the first answer is yes. DXP 7.3 is already available on DXP Cloud. In the second answer about the migration from one version to the other, Tiago mentioned I'm not sure if he mentioned the version, but DXP Cloud today only supports DXP versions from 7.0 to 7.3. We support it, but the migration from 7.0 to 7.1, 7.2, and 7.3.
Upgrade, Bruno. It's upgrade.
Yeah, you teach me how to say that, and I'm saying it.
Yeah, no problem.
So the process from going on to one version to the other is like a shared responsibility. So the DXP Cloud team will make the version available, but the customer is responsible for applying this new version, and to make sure that this new version won't break any change that they have in their environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Just to no, it's perfect, Bruno. Just to complement, this is it's one question that we got pretty much every single call when we have with customers, and because customers always expect that since we are on the cloud, the upgrade process from one version to the other will be automatically. So this is not the case yet, right? So our team is working, developing a feature that will help in this process, this upgrade process. We are not sure how automated will be the whole process, but we are investigating and already developing. I know that we are in a development process for features that will help during this upgrade from 7.0 to 7.3, for 7.1 to 7.2, and so on, right? So, and like Bruno was sharing, it's a shared responsibility right now. So customer still has the responsibility to do the upgrade, to run the upgrade process, to change their code from one version to another. Okay, so this is a customer responsibility. And again, our team, our GS team is capable and they are eager to do it as well, to help in this process, to help you to do the upgrade from one version to another, or on the cloud or even on-prem.
All right, thank you for that, Tiago. Our next question is, let me see, should you migrate first or upgrade first? Or does it matter which one you do first?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's up to you what you are, what is more important for you. From like wearing a business hat, if I was a business owner of the project, I would ask my IT team to do the upgrade first. Okay, and why is that? Because with a new version, we will have more features that I don't have in the previous version. Correct. So business hat. If I have IT hat, I would, okay, let's do the migration first, because on the cloud, we will have more time to do other things, inclusive do the upgrade. And why is that? Because on DXP Cloud, a lot of things is managed by the PaaS platform, by DXP Cloud. So I don't need to manage the database. I don't need to manage the integrations between Liferay, the Elasticsearch, the configurations. So the software development cycle is already in place. So we don't need to, again, spend time maintaining things, because DXP Cloud do this for us. All right, and with this time that we are not expanding, maintaining things, I will be able to do the upgrade. So probably it's better do the migration, and after that the upgrade.
All right, thank you for that, Tiago. And we actually have a follow-up to the first question. As a follow-up, 7.0 is no longer supported on-premise. Is there a timeline for support to be dropped in the cloud? So would customers be pushed to upgrade to a newer release?
Yeah, this is a very, very interesting question. And I need to check. We need to check. Not sure, Bruno, if you know how it works for the cloud. I would say that if the support for 7.0 is dropped on-prem, is also dropped on the cloud. Okay, so you need to do the upgrade as quick as possible.
Yeah, I don't have more details about it, but I know that we follow the same process. Like the support is for Liferay DXP, so on the cloud and on-prem, the timelines are the same. So
yeah,
regarding this push to go to another version, I don't know. I don't have details about how it works. Yeah, we can check.
Yeah, we can double check, but I think this is the statement. Yeah.
All right, so what I'll do is I'll provide that attendee's contact information, and you guys can reach out to him. And, all right. So let's see. Another question came in. It says, "How do I promote my code within environments?"
Okay, this is also a very important question. It's very simple. Right, we did a very good job shaping a software development lifecycle process on top of DXP Cloud. And basically what happens, so every time that you create a new source code, a new, I don't know, a look and feel, a new customization, or even like a small change on a CSS line, you will commit this change, correct? You commit this change in your source code. That must be a Git repository. Once you commit this change and push the change to the Git server, our software development life cycle will pick up the changes. So the Jenkins, we have a Jenkins server. So Jenkins will be notified about these changes, and Jenkins will process, will compile all the Java code, will compile CSS, will run tests if you have, and in the end, if the whole process ends without any break change, without any break, so it ends with a green light, I would say, Jenkins will create a build on DXP Cloud. Okay, and this build concept, it gets a number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And this build will be used to deploy on each of the environments. So the first one you deploy to the dev environment for for simple reasons, I would say. So deploy on the dev environment, and your team can test if the changes that they apply it to the source code, they are not breaking anything on the cloud and so on. For instance, they deploy the build number 5 to dev environment. Okay, once they say, okay, all is good, the code of build number 5 is good, we can ask the business team to evaluate the changes. So we deploy the same build number 5 to UAT environment. In the UAT environment, you will invite your team, your business team, to check if the features implemented or if the changes developed are aligned with their expectations. Right? In the end, once they say, yes, everything is good, you can deploy to production, you will again get the build number 5 and deploy it to production. Right? So with this process, you promote the same build across the environments until you go to production. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that, and thank you everyone for your questions. I think this is pretty much all of our time. Just as a reminder, thank you for coming down. As a reminder, the webinar has been recorded, and the slides and recording will be posted on liferay.com in a few weeks. So thank you all for joining us, and we look forward to helping you with your upgrade and migrations to DXP Cloud. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Bye.